Hello, my name is Bebarce El-Tayib, and I am the creator of a tabletop RPG called Power Outage. Power Outage is a game that is meant to be GM'd by adults and played by kids. There are several unique aspects to Power Outage. But to start off, Power Outage is a superhero-based game that puts the kids in the roles of superheroes on this continent-sized island called Outage, Alaska, in the center of the Pacific. The GM takes on the role of all the different characters and all of the villains. And the game is filled with a ton of puns. So some of the villains that you might be fighting up against are things like Instigator, Breakfast, the Bolshevist, a couple other fun ones. So there are a lot of unique aspects of this game, and I'm working on developing a version 1.4, and I'm actually debating on whether it should be 1.4 or 2.0 because it is a large endeavor. And I'm going to be including a lot of new aspects to version 1.4. And some of the stuff from version 1.3 are still going to be there. One of those things is called the CAPE system. It stands for Combat, Alternative, Puzzle, and Exploration. Basically, it is a method of breaking out adventures so that it's almost like a choose-your-own path for novice GMs so that they can grab an adventure, look at the path that's set up in front of them, pick the components that they like, and then create an adventure that is designed specifically for the kids that they're going to be playing with. The game itself is modular and scalable. One thing I always say within the book that it's more of a guide than a rule book, even though I call it a rule book. And that's because when you're dealing with kids of differing abilities, you can't have a single rule set that defines how play exists. Otherwise, you're going to be cutting out kids from your gaming environment. So it's set up so that it could be differentiated between the kids. So whether you are unable to read or able to read or unable to do complex math or able to do some math or able to do complex math, the game allows for kids of varying levels to play at the same time within the same campaign and still contribute to the story as it moves forward. It's also got a unique power system. So you have the ability to basically select from a table of powers, and those powers get the effects or the cause of the effect attached based off of the character that they're creating. So whether you're doing damage because you're shooting ice, or doing damage because you're blasting, or doing damage because you're setting off micro gravitational waves, or whatever the case may be, the system is designed to allow you to basically create whatever kind of superhero you want, while still being a playable game. And then lastly, the game is designed to function as an instructional aid as well. So there are things built into it. For instance, a lot of the villains have meta characteristics attached to their weaknesses. So doing certain things outside of the game, like contributing to a cause, helping family members, eating right, exercising, those all actually directly correlate to weaknesses that impact the villains. So there is a benefit to engaging in those activities that is reflected in the game. Also, with version 1.4, I'm developing an entire section dedicated towards special needs accommodations and modification. So, I've taken a symptomatic approach to accommodations. So if a child is, for instance, as one example, suffering from anxiety, regardless of whether that anxiety is coming from, attention deficit disorder, or from emotional disturbances or something like that, anxiety as a symptom is supported. That way, you can support multiple different characteristics from a symptomatic approach. So why am I creating this? Well, because part of creating the product, the end product, is funding. And I'm looking to, I've already got, I'd say, 90% of the book done, but I would love to populate it with more imagery and ensure that it is a product that reflects the professionalism and the integrity that I want displayed within the game. So any funds that are provided would go directly to paying either paying for production costs or paying for collaborators of art, design, and editing. So if you're interested in a game that you can play with your kids or play with other kids, or if you're looking for a tool within your classroom or within your counseling sessions, then check out Power Outage. Thanks.